What if I told you the reason your life hasn't changed yet is not because you're unlucky, not because you don't have opportunities, but because you quit at the exact moment it was about to work?
That feels a little too real.
Think about it. How many times did you start something, full of energy, full of hope, and then slowly, quietly, you stopped?
More times than I want to admit.
And every time you stopped, you told yourself the same lie. Maybe this just isn't for me.
I've said that so many times.
But what if it was for you, and you just didn't stay long enough to see it?
That changes everything.
Because the truth is, success doesn't go to the smartest, or the most talented.
Then who does it go to?
The one who refuses to quit, when everything inside them is telling them to stop.
That's harder than it sounds.
Exactly. And that's why most people never get there.
So what makes this time different?
This time, you're not just listening.
Then what am I doing?
You're making a decision.
What decision?
That no matter how hard it gets, no matter how slow it feels, no matter how many times you doubt yourself.
I don't quit.
Say it again.
I don't quit.
Good. Because this entire journey, everything you're about to hear, will only work for one kind of person.
Who?
The one who stays.
I always thought willpower meant feeling motivated, like waking up with energy and actually wanting to do something.
That's the illusion. Motivation feels powerful, but it's unstable.
But when I feel motivated, I get things done.
And when that feeling disappears,
I stop.
exactly. That's the trap. You've trained yourself to move only when it feels good.
So I've been depending on something temporary.
Yes. Motivation is a spark. It can start something, but it can't sustain it.
Then what keeps things going?
Will. And will doesn't ask how you feel.
That sounds difficult.
It is. Because will shows up when everything inside you says stop. When you're tired. When you're frustrated. When nothing is working.
That's when I usually give up.
And that's when everything actually starts to matter.
So the real test isn't the beginning, it's that moment.
Yes. Anyone can start when it's easy. Very few continue when it's hard.
But how do you keep going in that moment?
You decide before the moment comes. You make quitting unacceptable.
Even if I don't feel ready.
Readiness is a feeling. Will is a decision.
So I don't need to feel strong. I just need to act.
Exactly. Even if it's one small step. Even if it feels insignificant.
And that's enough.
It's more than enough. Because consistency builds something motivation never can.
What's that?
Momentum. And once you have that, stopping becomes harder than continuing.
So the goal isn't perfection, it's persistence.
Yes. Because most people don't fail from lack of ability, they fail from stopping too early.
That explains a lot.
Then remember this, motivation might get you started, but only your will can carry you to the end.
I feel like I've tried so many times, and every time, I stop right before something good happens.
That's not just you. That's almost everyone.
Why does it always happen at that exact moment?
Because that's when things get hardest. And most people mistake that moment as a sign to quit.
It really does feel like a sign, like maybe it's not meant for me.
No. It's the opposite. Difficulty often shows up right before progress.
So when everything feels heavy, I might actually be close.
Yes. But your mind doesn't see it that way. It sees discomfort and immediately says, stop.
That explains why I always doubt myself at that stage.
Exactly. The closer you get to something meaningful, the stronger your resistance becomes.
Resistance.
That inner voice that tells you it's too hard, too late, too impossible.
I hear that voice all the time.
Everyone does. The difference is, some people listen to it, and some people push through it.
But how do you know when to push, and when to stop?
Ask yourself one question: are you quitting because it's truly wrong or because it's uncomfortable?
Most of the time, it's just uncomfortable.
Exactly. And discomfort is not a signal to quit, it's a signal that you're growing.
So every time I quit at that moment, I'm basically stopping right before the reward.
Yes. You're walking away when it's about to work.
That's frustrating.
It should be. Because success doesn't come from starting strong, it comes from staying when it gets difficult.
So the real challenge is surviving that moment.
Not just surviving it, recognizing it.
Recognizing it.
Yes. The moment you feel like quitting, you should pause and say, this might be the exact moment that matters most.
That changes everything.
Because now, instead of reacting emotionally, you respond with awareness.
And if I push through that moment,
You separate yourself from 90% of people.
just by not quitting.
Just by not quitting when it's hardest.
So success isn't about being the best, it's about lasting longer than others.
Exactly. Most people don't lose because they're weak, they lose because they leave too early.
Then maybe the real goal isn't to win fast.
It's to stay in the game long enough to win.
Sometimes it doesn't even feel like the outside world is stopping me, it's my own mind.
That's because it is. The biggest resistance you'll ever face is internal.
But why would my own mind work against me?
Because your mind isn't designed for success, it's designed for safety.
Safety.
Yes. It wants to keep you comfortable. Predictable. Protected from risk.
So when I try something new, or difficult, it reacts.
Immediately. It starts creating fear, doubt, hesitation.
That voice that says, what if you fail?
Exactly. Or, what will people think? Or, maybe you're not good enough.
I hear all of that, all the time.
And here's the dangerous part, it sounds like truth.
That's why it's so hard to ignore.
Because it feels real. But most of those thoughts aren't facts, they're just protection mechanisms.
Protection from what?
From discomfort. From rejection. From uncertainty.
But those are exactly the things I need to face if I want to grow.
Yes. Which means, if you always listen to your mind, you'll always stay where you are.
That's frustrating.
It is. Because your mind will give you very convincing reasons to stop.
Like you can try later, or this isn't the right time.
Exactly. It doesn't tell you to quit directly, it just delays you until you stop.
So it tricks me.
In a way, yes. Not to harm you, but to protect you from anything unfamiliar.
Then how do I deal with it?
You stop treating every thought as a command.
What do you mean?
Just because you think something doesn't mean you have to act on it.
So I can hear the fear, but still move forward.
That's real strength. Not the absence of fear, but action despite it.
That sounds powerful.
It is. Because once you understand this, your mind loses control over your actions.
So the goal isn't to silence my thoughts, it's to not obey them.
Exactly. Let them exist, but don't let them decide.
And if I can do that,
Then nothing inside you can stop you anymore.
that changes everything.
Because the moment you stop listening to limiting thoughts, you start creating your own path.
I understand the idea now, will is stronger than motivation. But I still feel stuck. I don't know how to actually build it.
That's because most people think will is something you either have or you don't.
Isn't that true?
No. Will is built. And the tool that builds it is discipline.
Discipline sounds boring.
It is. And that's exactly why it works.
What do you mean?
Motivation is exciting. It gives you a rush. It makes you feel powerful, but only for a short time. Discipline doesn't feel exciting. It feels repetitive. Quiet. Sometimes even uncomfortable.
That's probably why I avoid it.
Exactly. But here's the truth no one tells you, your future is not built in moments of excitement. It's built in moments of repetition.
So doing the same thing every day is actually powerful.
It's everything. Because every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're strengthening your will.
But those small actions feel so insignificant.
That's the illusion. Small actions feel small in the moment, but they compound over time.
So consistency matters more than intensity.
Always. Anyone can go all in for one day. Very few can show up every day.
I've done that before. I start strong, then I disappear.
Because you were chasing intensity, not building discipline.
So discipline is about staying, not starting.
Exactly. It's about doing what you said you would do, even when there's no excitement left.
That's the hard part.
That's the only part that matters.
But what if I fail? What if I miss a day?
You will. Everyone does. Discipline isn't about perfection, it's about returning.
Returning.
Yes. Missing once is a mistake. Missing twice becomes a pattern. The key is to come back immediately.
So I shouldn't wait for the next Monday, or the next perfect moment.
No. That's how people lose months, even years. The faster you return, the stronger your discipline becomes.
I think I've wasted a lot of time waiting for the right time.
Everyone does. Until they realize the right time is just the moment they decide to act.
So discipline is really just keeping promises to myself.
Exactly. And every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows.
That makes sense. When I break my own promises, I feel weaker.
Because you start doubting yourself. You stop trusting your own words.
And discipline fixes that.
Yes. Slowly, quietly, but powerfully.
So if I want a stronger will, I don't need a big change.
No. You need small, consistent actions.
Like what?
Waking up when you said you would. Doing the work even when you don't feel like it. Finishing what you started, even if it's uncomfortable.
That sounds simple, but not easy.
Exactly. Simple doesn't mean easy. But simple works, if you respect it.
And if I keep doing that,
You become someone who doesn't rely on feelings anymore.
that sounds powerful.
It is. Because now your actions are controlled by your decisions, not your emotions.
So discipline gives me control.
Yes. Control over your habits, your time, your direction.
And without discipline,
You drift. You react. You start and stop, again and again.
that's exactly how I've been living.
Then this is where everything changes.
Just by being disciplined.
Yes. Because discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become.
And most people never cross that bridge.
No. Because they're waiting for motivation to carry them across.
But motivation doesn't last.
Exactly. That's why discipline wins.
So if I want to build real will, I need to embrace discipline, even when it feels boring, even when it feels hard.
Especially then.
Because that's when it's actually working.
Yes. The moment it feels hardest is the moment you're becoming stronger.
I think I understand now.
Good. Then remember this, you don't rise to your goals, you fall to your habits.
So if I fix my habits, I fix my life.
Exactly. And it all starts with one decision, to show up, no matter what.
Even when I don't feel like it.
Especially when you don't feel like it.
I think this is where I get stuck the most. I keep waiting. Waiting for the right time, the right mood, the right situation.
And how long have you been waiting?
If I'm honest, years.
That's the hidden trap. It doesn't feel like quitting, but it leads to the same place.
But I always tell myself I'm just preparing. Getting ready.
Preparing for what?
For when everything feels aligned. When I feel confident. When things are easier.
So you're waiting for a moment where there's no resistance, no fear, no discomfort.
Yes. I guess I am.
That moment doesn't exist.
That's hard to accept.
It should be. Because that one belief is quietly stealing your life.
Stealing my life.
Every day you wait, you're trading time for an illusion. You think you're getting closer, but you're actually standing still.
But starting when I'm not ready feels risky.
It is risky. But waiting is even riskier.
How?
Because when you wait, you don't just delay progress. You build doubt. You build hesitation. You build fear.
That's true. The longer I wait, the harder it feels to start.
Exactly. Time doesn't make things easier, avoidance makes them heavier.
So every time I delay, I'm making it worse.
Yes. You're strengthening the habit of not acting.
I never saw it like that.
Most people don't. They think waiting is safe. But it slowly destroys their confidence.
Because I stopped trusting myself.
Yes. You keep telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes.
That hits deep.
It should. Because this isn't about time, it's about identity.
Identity.
Yes. Every time you delay action, you're becoming someone who hesitates.
And every time I act, I become someone who moves forward.
Exactly. You're always becoming someone with every choice you make.
So waiting is not neutral, it's shaping me.
In a powerful way. Either toward growth or toward regret.
Regret is something I'm starting to feel already.
And that's the warning sign. Not everyone notices it early.
So what should I do when I feel like I'm not ready?
You move anyway.
Even if I feel completely unprepared.
Especially then. Because readiness is created through action, not before it.
That feels backwards.
It is. But it's the truth. You don't become confident and then act, you act, and confidence follows.
So confidence is a result, not a requirement.
Exactly. And most people wait for it, instead of building it.
That explains why I've been stuck.
Let me ask you something. Think about all the things you've delayed. How many of them became easier with time?
None. They all feel heavier now.
That's because time doesn't solve an action, it magnifies it.
So the only way out is to start.
Yes. But not in a dramatic way. Not in a perfect way. Just in a real way.
What does that mean?
It means you don't wait for the perfect plan. You take the first imperfect step.
Even if it's messy.
Especially if it's messy. Because progress is always messy in the beginning.
I think I've been afraid of doing it wrong.
That fear keeps more people stuck than failure ever does.
Because I want it to be perfect from the start.
And perfection is just another form of delay.
So perfection is actually an excuse.
Most of the time, yes. It sounds productive, but it keeps you inactive.
That's uncomfortable to admit.
Growth always is.
So if I want to break this pattern, I need to act before I feel ready, accept imperfection, and stop delaying.
Exactly. And there's one more thing.
What's that?
You need to understand that starting late is still better than never starting.
Sometimes I feel like I've already wasted too much time.
That's another trap. The past is gone. But the next decision is still yours.
So it's not about when I start, it's about whether I start.
Yes. Because one decision today can change everything.
Even if it's small.
Small decisions are the only ones that matter, because they're the ones you can actually repeat.
So I don't need a big breakthrough. I need a small beginning.
Exactly. And that small beginning is where your new life starts.
That sounds powerful.
It is. Because the moment you stop waiting, you take control.
And once I start, it becomes easier to continue.
Yes. Starting is the hardest part. After that, momentum takes over.
So all this time, I wasn't stuck because I couldn't do it.
You were stuck because you didn't start.
That changes everything.
Then don't let this be another moment you understand, and then ignore.
I won't.
Good. Then remember this: the perfect moment is a myth. The only moment that matters is the one you choose to act.
And that moment is now.
Exactly.
There's something I still don't understand. Why does everything that matters feel so hard? Why does growth always come with pain?
Because growth is not about adding something new, it's about becoming someone different. And that transformation is never comfortable.
But sometimes it feels like I'm doing something wrong, because it hurts so much.
That's the misunderstanding. Pain doesn't always mean you're on the wrong path, sometimes it means you finally left your comfort zone.
So pain isn't a warning sign.
Not always. Sometimes it's a signal that you're stretching beyond who you used to be.
But it feels like resistance, like something is pulling me back.
That's because part of you wants to stay the same. Your old habits, your old identity, they don't disappear easily.
So I'm fighting myself.
In a way, yes. You're outgrowing the version of you that felt safe, and stepping into something unfamiliar.
That explains why it feels so heavy.
Because you're carrying two versions of yourself at the same time, the one you were, and the one you're trying to become.
And the old version doesn't want to let go.
Exactly. It resists change. It whispers, "Go back. This is too much."
I've heard that voice so many times.
Everyone has. The difference is, some people listen to it, and some people walk through it.
But how do you keep going when it hurts?
You change the way you see pain.
What do you mean?
Most people see pain as something to avoid. But what if pain is actually a sign that you're doing something meaningful?
That's a different way to look at it.
Think about it. Every skill you've ever learned, every improvement you've made, it came with discomfort.
That's true.
The problem is, we expect growth to feel good. But real growth feels like pressure.
Pressure.
Yes. Like something inside you is being reshaped. And that process isn't smooth.
So the discomfort is part of the transformation.
It is the transformation.
That makes it easier to accept, but it's still hard to go through.
Of course it is. But here's the truth: the pain you feel while growing is temporary. The pain of staying the same lasts much longer.
That hits deep.
Because you've felt both. The pain of trying, and the pain of regret.
And regret feels worse.
Always. Because it stays with you. It keeps reminding you of what you could have been.
So I have to choose which pain I'm willing to carry.
Exactly. The pain of discipline, or the pain of regret.
That's a powerful choice.
And most people don't even realize they're making it, every single day.
I think I've been choosing comfort, without realizing the cost.
Comfort feels good in the moment, but it slowly limits your life.
So avoiding pain is actually hurting me.
Yes. Because everything you want requires you to go through discomfort.
So there's no way around it.
No. Only through it.
That's intense.
It is. But it's also freeing. Because once you accept pain as part of the process, it stops controlling you.
How?
Because now, when it shows up, you don't panic. You don't stop. You recognize it.
Recognize it as what?
As a sign that you're moving forward.
So instead of saying, "This is too hard," I say, "This is part of it."
Exactly. That one shift changes everything.
I think I've been trying to escape the process, instead of embracing it.
And that's why it felt endless. When you resist pain, it feels heavier.
But if I accept it,
It becomes manageable. It still exists, but it no longer stops you.
that makes sense.
Let me ask you something. When was the last time you did something meaningful without discomfort?
I can't think of anything.
Because meaningful things demand something from you: time, effort, energy, and yes, discomfort.
So the harder it feels, the more valuable it might be.
Often, yes. Not always, but often.
That changes how I see struggle.
Good. Because struggle isn't your enemy, it's your teacher.
What does it teach?
Patience, strength, resilience, and most importantly, who you really are.
So pain reveals something.
It reveals your limits and gives you the chance to go beyond them.
That's powerful.
It is. Because every time you push through discomfort, you expand what you believe is possible.
And if I keep doing that,
You become someone who isn't controlled by fear or difficulty anymore.
that's who I want to become.
Then stop running from pain and start walking through it.
Even when it feels overwhelming.
Especially then. Because that's where the real growth is happening.
So the moment I feel like quitting, because it hurts.
That's the moment you remind yourself, this is part of the process.
And if I stay in that moment,
You come out stronger. Every single time.
I think I've been afraid of the pain, but now I see it differently.
Good. Because once you stop fearing pain, nothing can hold you back.
So the goal isn't to avoid pain, it's to use it.
Exactly. Use it as fuel. Use it as proof. Use it as a reminder that you're becoming something more.
And one day, it won't feel as heavy.
One day, you'll look back and realize that pain built you.
That's powerful.
Then remember this: growth and comfort never exist at the same time.
So if I choose growth, I have to accept discomfort.
Yes. But in return, you get a life most people never experience.
That's a trade I'm willing to make.
Good. Then don't run from the hard moments anymore.
I won't.
Face them. Walk through them. And let them shape you.
Because that's where the real change happens.
Exactly.
I've heard everything you've said, and it makes sense. But there's one thing I'm afraid of.
What is it?
That I'll do it again. That I'll start strong, feel confident, and then slowly fall back into old patterns.
That fear is real. Because it's not your first attempt.
Exactly. I've promised myself before. I've said this time will be different, and it wasn't.
Then let me ask you something: what made those times fail?
I lost energy. I got distracted. I started doubting myself. And eventually, I just stopped.
So it wasn't one big failure, it was a series of small decisions that led to quitting.
Yes, it wasn't sudden. It just faded.
That's how most people quit. Not in one dramatic moment, but in quiet excuses.
That sounds painfully accurate.
Because it's easy to justify. I'll take a break today. I'll start again tomorrow. I deserve rest.
Those thoughts feel so harmless in the moment.
But repeated over time, they become your reality.
So quitting isn't one decision, it's many small ones.
Exactly. And that means not quitting is also a series of small decisions.
That makes it feel more manageable.
It should. Because you don't need to win forever, you just need to win today.
Win today.
Yes. Focus on one day. One action. One promise.
And then repeat it.
Exactly. That's how consistency is built.
But what about those moments when everything feels overwhelming?
You shrink the moment.
Shrink it.
Instead of thinking about everything, focus on the next step.
Just the next step.
Yes. Because overwhelm comes from trying to carry everything at once.
That's exactly how it feels, like too much.
Then stop looking at the whole mountain and take one step forward.
That makes it feel possible.
That's the point. You don't need massive strength, you need steady movement.
But what if I still feel like quitting?
Then pause and ask yourself one question.
What question?
Will I regret stopping more than I regret continuing?
That's powerful.
Because in most cases, the answer is clear.
I always regret stopping.
Everyone does. But in the moment, quitting feels like relief.
It does. It feels like I'm escaping the pressure.
But that relief is temporary. And the regret that follows lasts much longer.
So quitting solves nothing, it just delays the pain.
Exactly. It trades short-term comfort for long-term frustration.
I've felt that cycle so many times.
Then this time, break it.
How?
By deciding something different. Not emotionally, but clearly.
What kind of decision?
That quitting is no longer part of your identity.
That sounds serious.
It is. Because as long as quitting is an option, your mind will use it.
So I have to remove it completely.
Yes. Replace it with one rule, no matter what happens. I continue.
Even if I slow down.
Slow is fine. Stopping is not.
Even if I fail.
Failing is part of continuing. It doesn't count as quitting.
That changes everything.
Because now, you're not chasing perfection, you're protecting momentum.
Momentum feels more real.
It is. Because once you have momentum, progress becomes natural.
But I lose momentum so easily.
Because you stop completely. Momentum doesn't disappear from slowing down, it disappears from stopping.
So as long as I keep moving, I keep it alive.
Exactly. Even the smallest step keeps it going.
That makes it feel less overwhelming.
Good. Because this isn't about being perfect, it's about being consistent.
I think I've been chasing perfection this whole time.
And that's why you kept quitting. Perfection creates pressure. Consistency creates progress.
So I should focus on showing up, not being perfect.
Yes. Show up when you feel strong. Show up when you feel weak. Show up when you feel nothing.
Even when I don't believe in myself.
Especially then. Because belief grows from action, not the other way around.
That's different from what I thought.
Most people wait to believe before they act. That's why they stay stuck.
So action comes first, belief comes later.
Exactly. Every time you act, you prove something to yourself.
And that builds confidence.
Yes. Real confidence, not temporary motivation.
I want that.
Then stop waiting to feel ready, and start proving to yourself that you can continue.
Even if it's hard.
Especially if it's hard.
So this time, the difference isn't a new plan, or a new strategy.
It's a new decision.
A decision to not quit.
Exactly.
No matter how I feel, no matter how slow I go, no matter how many times I struggle.
You continue.
And if I can do that, everything changes.
Everything. Because most people are not stopped by failure, they're stopped by quitting.
So if I remove quitting, I remove the biggest obstacle.
Yes. And what's left is just time and effort.
That feels simple.
It is simple. But not easy.
But it's possible.
Always.
Then maybe the real reason some people succeed isn't because they are special.
It's because they didn't stop.
That's it.
That's it.
So this whole journey comes down to one thing.
One decision, repeated daily.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
Even when it's hard.
Especially when it's hard.
Even when no one sees it.
Especially then.
Even when I doubt myself.
That's when it matters most.
Then this time, I won't quit.
Say it again.
This time, I won't quit.
Good. Now don't just say it, prove it.
I will.
Because one day, you won't need motivation, you won't need reminders.
Why?
Because continuing will become who you are.
And that's when I become unstoppable.
Exactly.
So in the end, it was never about finding the perfect path.
It was about becoming the person who keeps walking, even when the path disappears.
And maybe that's what where there's a will, there's a way really means.
The way doesn't exist first, your will creates it.
That's powerful.
Because now you know the truth, nothing is actually stopping you.
Except the moment I decide to stop.
Exactly. And that moment is always a choice.
So every time it gets hard, every time I feel like quitting.
That's the moment that defines everything.
Not when I start, but when I want to stop.
Yes. Because anyone can start, but very few continue.
And those who continue.
They become unstoppable.
So this time, it's different.
Why?
Because this time, I know what's really at stake.
And what is that?
Not just success, but the person I'm becoming.
Good. Then don't forget this.
What?
You don't need more time, you don't need more motivation.
Then what do I need?
You need one decision, repeated every single day.
Don't quit.
Don't quit.
No matter how it feels.
No matter how long it takes.
No matter how many times I struggle.
You continue.
Because where there's a will,
There's always a way.